Now, it's technically lunchtime, and full center stage content will resume here at 2 o'clock. But in the meantime, we're going to introduce you to some amazing, bright new startup stars, so you're going to want to stick around for that. I'm Yvonne Redmond. I'm Speaker Director for Web Summit and Alisyn. Each morning and every afternoon, we've been profiling the very best and brightest seed and growth companies here at Alisyn, companies that are creating a real buzz in their industries. So before we begin our main afternoon content here on Centre Stage, as I've said, I'll be introducing you to a selection of those incredible companies. They have exciting plans for the future of their organizations and their industries, so we believe that these are the startups you'll all be talking about in 2020 and beyond. Their potential has also been recognized by dozens of the world's leading startup investors. So let's begin with a fantastic Canadian company, and we're not the only ones who think so. Their backers include renowned investors like Untitled Capital and Initialized. He'll be profiling the next generation of smart glasses for us, so please give a very warm welcome to the stage to co-founder and CEO of North, Stephen Lake.
Hello, Alisyn. I'm excited to be here in our home turf of the Toronto-Waterloo corridor. And thanks so much for having me. So in October, we announced Focals, a pair of stylish, everyday smart glasses with a hidden holographic display only the wearer can see. Of course, I'm actually wearing a pair of these right now. I have a small display sitting about an arm's length in front of me. As you might have realized, Focals are a little bit different from other products in this category of smart glasses or AR. There's no big bulky display for playing games or fixing cars. There's no monsters jumping out of the wall, just a pair of glasses. And it really started from our belief that this next version of computing should be about empowering people out in the world instead of distracting us from it. And Focals began exactly with this belief. It's got to be there when you need it, gone when you don't, invisible technology. We're spending more and more time today with our devices, staring at screens from the first moment we wake up in the morning before even saying good morning to our loved ones, to that last moment in the evening as we lay down to go to sleep, scrolling through feeds and so on continuously with our devices. But we think there is a better way. Let's design technology from a human-first perspective. When we started this journey for Focals 5 years ago, we had 3 steps to get there. The first was make a pair of smart glasses that look just like regular glasses. To do that, we had to take a different approach. They had to be indistinguishable from regular glasses or eyewear you would buy from an eyewear brand today. That meant we have to have prescription support. They had to look great. We had to account for the variance in style, size, expression that we all have as people. Each pair of Focals has to be custom built for that user, just like glasses are today, with your prescription, your size, your information. 2, we needed to create an experience on Focals that was useful and intuitive and not overwhelming or distracting. The approach we took was to take a minimalistic approach, giving you just the information you need when you need it and nothing more. Your attention and focus in the real world is first and foremost. There when you need it, gone when you don't. 3, we had to build a different kind of company to make this possible. When we first started working on Focals, everybody we talked to, every supplier, every technology provider said, you can't do this. You can't build a product with thousands of variations across sizes and styles and so on. You can't manufacture a display this precise. You can't have it integrated into a prescription lens. And we said to all of those, well, we'll find a way. We'll do it ourselves. And to do that, we had to make investments that were atypical of a typical startup at our stage of size of a company. We had to build our own manufacturing facility down the road here in Kitchener-Waterloo. We had to invest in our own retail stores to bring this to market, our own chips to power the device, our own optics inside of it. All of that in pursuit of this goal of building invisible technology, designed around our experience, there when you need it in the world, gone when you don't. We're early in that journey today. We announced the product in October. It's been shipping for 3 months, available in our stores in Toronto and Brooklyn today. But it's been an amazing journey so far. We just took a truck on the road, bringing Focals across the west coast of the US, from San Francisco to Seattle to LA, and sold out every stop along the way with the very first people who are excited about this vision for a different version of computing. And if this category truly does arrive, we are talking about a massive change, just as the previous 3 generations of computing have brought to us. Every time we've had a transformational shift in the interface and the platform, It's restructured the entire industries, the hardware, the software, the ecosystems built on top. That same impact is possible today on the business side. But almost more importantly to that is the impact on our daily lives. We believe with Focals and this new version of computing, if done right, this gives us a way to have technology there when we need it, gone when we don't, really designed around being invisible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephen, for that. We're next going to turn to a financial technology company who believe they offer better economics to customers than traditional banks do. Please welcome CEO and co-founder of Xero, Bryce Galen, to the stage to discuss reimagining and simplifying the modern banking experience.
Xero is banking reimagined from a consumer's perspective. Combines a rewards credit card called Xero Card with a FDIC-insured checking account called Xero Checking. Unlike any other product before it, Xero finally lets you bank like debit and earn like credit. Our debit-style experience displays your transactions from Xero Card and Xero Checking together in the Xero app with one net number to spend from. No more doing math just to know where you stand. With this feature turned on, we won't authorize any new Xero Card purchases if they'd put you in the red. If there's a purchase you don't remember, Xero shows you exactly what it was with logos and maps. And if you still have questions, our team is here for you with 24/7 support from our operations center in California. Let's talk about rewards. Xero Card is a world MasterCard, so it earns credit card cash back. Lots of it. You start out with a quartz level card, that's the white card at 1%, earning 1% cash back. Tell your friends, you'll level up to graphite, which earns 1.5% cash back. Magnesium, after you refer 2 friends, gets 2% cash back, and then carbon, which is our black card that earns 3% cash back on all spending categories. You could redeem the cash back anytime you want. Just tap into the main menu and swipe up. And after a second here, you'll see a confetti shower and it's ready to spend. And if you're still not impressed, Xero Card Magnesium and Xero Card Carbon are crafted from a single block of laser-etched, space-grade duralumin alloy. Apple recently made headlines by saying they're launching the first credit card that encourages you to pay less interest. I think we've done one better and launched the first credit card that encourages you to pay no interest. By now, you're probably thinking a solid metal credit card with crazy high cash back that encourages you to pay no interest. What's the catch? It must have a very high annual fee, right? Well, think again. You won't pay an annual fee because Xero Card doesn't have one. No foreign transaction fees either. When you level up, you can even earn rewards based on your deposits, which couldn't be easier to make. Just enter the amount, swipe up, and they're available to spend instantaneously. Here, $1,000 is being deposited, swipe, and you see it right there on your register. You earn 2% annually at the carbon level on this balance, where we also give you refunds of your ATM fees anywhere in the world. So you always have instant and free access to cash with Xero Card. Maybe that's why we were fortunate enough that the New York Times called Xero a better overall offer than almost any other card. Check us out at xero.app today and join us in banking and living life with zero compromises. Thank you.
Now, our next company has been called the Spotify for Food. Choose allows companies to handle all their food catering needs via their platform, and they've already set their eyes on expansion across America and beyond. Now they're focused on international expansion, and here to talk about that, please welcome CEO and founder Tracy Lawrence.
when I was 10 years old, I was bullied. And I was bullied so badly, I used to eat lunch alone in the bathroom. And that's why I'm dedicated now to a company where nobody eats lunch alone, especially not in the office. We believe that a shared meal has the power to build authentic connection and strengthen communities that we serve. So, let me tell you about Choose. We're an office dining company, and what we do is we plan, deliver, and host family-style meals from local restaurants. And the magic sauce for us is that we actually have a meal host. This is the person who's on site at the offices that takes care of all the setup and the cleanup so you can eat with your team and enjoy. And we believe everybody should have a seat at the table. We were founded in 2012. My name is Tracy Lawrence. Forgot to say that. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Choose. And actually, this is outdated as of today. We're over 300 employees strong. We've had over $30 million in funding from great, incredible investors, including Brad Feld at Founder Group, as well as one of the former founders at Seamless Web. We're serving 100,000 meals a month, and we have over 25,000 employees that we're feeding across 4 markets. How do we work? I was an event planner, and so I started this out of USC, out of my dorm room. And what I saw is that when you're ordering food as an event planner, or if you're in the audience and you're at a startup, the VPs or the CEO at a very early stage, you have to call up the restaurants directly. No more. With Choose's service, what we provide is the platform. You tell us what you want to eat. We build the meals for you. We make sure everything is set up and beautiful. You gather around the table. And then at the end, we donate the unwanted meals. And in fact, through our Choose to Give program, we're on track to donate about 75,000 meals this year. What we're building is the most delightful group ordering interface out there. So we're a tech-enabled service. What that means is that we grab the data from all of the employees, understanding your dietary restrictions. Are you a vegetarian? Are you vegan, gluten-free? We take that along with culinary preferences as well as budgets, and we build a taste profile. And so we match that taste profile with a structured data set from all of our local restaurant partners. And in doing that, we build you the perfect meal. So no longer do you have to worry about, what's the protein that's going to be in the salad? What kind of sandwiches should we be ordering? We take care of the entire thing. What we've built is a recurring meal platform that basically takes SaaS and food delivery and gets the best of both worlds. And we're scaling to 20 US markets and going international. And so for us, this is about building not just a national brand about connection and culture, but an international brand. So if you're interested in being involved in what we call a love company and a heart company, and you're interested in culture and food, please find me after this presentation and let's talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tracy, for that. Now, our next company is on a mission to revolutionize the way retailers shop for their stores. And they've raised $116 million to power their growth in just 2 years. To tell us more about this incredible journey, please welcome co-founder and CEO of Faire, Max Rhodes.
Hey, everybody. I'm Max. I am the CEO and co-founder of Faire. Faire is a wholesale marketplace that connects independent shops with products that are guaranteed to sell in their stores. And when I say guaranteed, I mean we use machine learning algorithms to match retailers with products, and if our recommendations are wrong, we actually allow the stores to return anything that isn't selling within 60 days, risk-free. Faire started about 2 years ago out of an experience that I had introducing a product called the Blunt Umbrella to the US market. I was a product manager at Square, and on the side, a couple of friends and I thought it would be fun to try to introduce this high-end umbrella from New Zealand to the US. And we were lucky enough through this experience to get a front row seat to some of the changes that have been happening in the retail world. We sold our products on Amazon. We sold it through our own e-commerce website. We sold it into REI, Nordstrom, several other big box stores. And we also sold it into about 100 independent boutiques. And it was through this experience that we learned something pretty interesting. We learned that local retail is thriving. These independent stores were far better than any big box store or any website at selling our products. And that's because these stores are curators. Their customers trust them to find great products, and they're also amazing storytellers. They can explain to somebody why they should spend $70 on an umbrella instead of $10 for something that they're just going to throw away after one use. And that's why independent retailers are making this comeback. You're seeing this across almost every vertical where bookstores, hardware stores, pharmacies, hardware stores, and even some small clothing boutiques are actually making this big comeback. Local retail is seeing this movement. Shop small is not just a marketing slogan from American Express. It's actually a seismic shift in consumer preferences. The only challenge, if you're a small brand like Blunt, is that they are so difficult to find. When we were working on Blunt, we tried everything to reach these stores. We went to trade shows, we hired sales reps, we even flew around different cities to try to reach these stores, which it turns out is a really expensive way to acquire customers. And the whole time, we kept asking ourselves, there are millions of these stores out there, why are they so hard to reach? And we realized, if you're a small shop, it's really risky to try out new products. It's painful. If you make a bad buying decision, you're stuck, and you could actually go out of business. And that's why we started FAIR. We wanted to make it easier for these small shops to try out new products, and we wanted to make it easier for small brands to connect with these stores. And it's working. We've been around for about 2 years, and we've already reached 5,000 brands, and we have over 30,000 stores that we've sold products into. To put that into perspective, there are 27,000 Starbucks locations in the United States. So we're already one of the largest networks of retailers in North America. Now, one last thing before I'm shoot off stage. We have a large engineering office in Waterloo, Canada. So if anyone here knows any talented software engineers, please direct them to fair.com/careers. My CTO, Marcelo, who's based here, will thank me.
Thanks, Max. Next, I'd like to introduce you to May Mobility, a company that's already having a dramatic impact on urban transportation in the US. They're working alongside communities on the ground to design new types of self-driving vehicles, and after just 2 years, their work can be seen in several American cities, with plans underway for expansion into more. So let's hear from the co-founder and COO. Please welcome Alisyn Malek.
Good afternoon. I'm excited to tell you all a bit more about May Mobility and the work that we do. We are focused on transforming cities, leveraging our self-driving technology in order to help make cities safer, greener, and more accessible. My co-founders and I recognize the opportunity by starting today. We are trying to rethink transportation using our self-driving shuttles to make it safer, easier, and a lot more fun for people to get where they need to go. We're actually already out on the roads. I know many of you have heard about lots of big names that are testing and thinking about how they could use self-driving transportation to change the world, but we're doing it today. We're live in Detroit, Michigan, as well as Columbus, Ohio, and Providence, Rhode Island. In these communities, we're using our self-driving shuttles to help solve the first mile and last mile transportation challenges. In Detroit, we're helping individuals that drive into the city with their vehicles and park their cars in parking decks actually get to their office buildings or get to lunch and get to meetings. In Providence, we're really excited because this is the first time that self-driving or autonomous transportation is being used to help people get between modes of transit. Our operations in Providence actually connect an Amtrak commuter rail station with bus lines and other neighborhoods that to date have not had access to transportation. It's a really exciting opportunity for communities to think about what types of transportation will help them to evolve for the residents. We are venture-backed. We brought in over $33 million, starting with VCs out of Silicon Valley, Trucks VC as well as Maven, and we were able to bring on venture funding from Toyota AI Ventures as well as BMW I Ventures in our seed round. We've been able to use that excitement and enthusiasm from the automotive industry to help us continue to grow. Earlier this year, we closed our Series A with participation from Millennium Value Technology Partners and Repower Group. These groups are helping us identify the capital that will help us to continue to scale in even more cities. As we think about what's next, we want to launch in cities, help them to really think about what are the initial transportation challenges, the low-hanging fruit, where we can bring our first mile, last mile shuttles, and then look for opportunities of how we can expand within that city. That helps us, A, to leverage what the technology is good at today, and B, to make sure that we're doing the right kind of outreach. Many communities have maybe heard of autonomous or self-driving technology. Many fewer have never gotten to touch it before. So oftentimes, not only is this a new type of transportation that the city is trying to adopt, but it's a new thing for the residents, and we take that very seriously. So we work very hard on education and how we build trust with these riders to make sure that we can become their ideal transportation solution. So with May Mobility, again, we're here to transform cities using self-driving technology to make them greener, safer, and more accessible. We're live and excited to come to a city near you. Thank you.
Next on stage, we're going to welcome a Singaporean software provider that's created an award-winning integrated business application. They've grown to 100,000 customers across 3 continents, but incredibly, their CEO slept in the airport to save money while trying to get Descara off the ground. Please welcome to the stage co-founder and CEO of Descara, Shashank Dixit.
Hi guys, my name is Shashank. I come from Singapore. I'm the founder and CEO of Descara. Our goal is to put 1 billion people on the cloud. I come from Singapore. How many of you have been to Singapore or have been to Asia? Just a quick show of hands. A lot of you. Singapore is a very interesting city. It sits in the middle of 4 billion people in a 4-hour flight time. You get access to 125 million SMEs. In 2025, these SMEs will be using my platform to run their business. What do? We have a platform that lets an SME run their entire business, whether it's sales or support or inventory, ERP, HR, payroll, all inclusive. Just to give you some context, if you're a small company and you have salespeople and you have to give out commissions, you're looking at 3 systems. You're looking at an HR system, you're looking at an accounting system, you're looking at a CRM system to capture sales data. SMEs don't have that kind of money. Not surely in Asia, not surely in the region that we are in. We give them this out of the box for a cost that is unimaginable in the Western world. And we give them much more than just this. We give them a shop, we give them an e-commerce platform, and they're able to run their business all on us. I'll just spend a little bit on this opportunity. 125 million SMEs create 2 billion jobs. It creates an economy that is driven by 90% of those SMEs. If I help SMEs create 1 more invoice, and they have 100 invoices that they process, and I can help them create 1 more invoice every month, I'll add 1% to the GDP of the nation I'm in. That's the amount of value that my company can create over years. And I think in the next 5 years, we'll get there. Thank you.
Always get a little bit caught off guard when they finish early like that. Thanks to Shashank for that. Now we're switching gears to a company who are changing the face of the US home rental market. Bungalow works with homeowners to lease their houses as the master tenant while they then rent out the property on a room-by-room basis. To discuss where next for the company, let's welcome the founder and CEO, Andrew Collins, everybody.
Hey everyone, I'm Andrew, co-founder and CEO of Bungalow. It's great to be here. I founded Bungalow after moving back to San Francisco and realizing it was actually harder to find a place to live than it was to find a job. That seems fundamentally flawed to me. So who are we? Bungalow is the fastest and largest co-living company in North America. What is co-living? We help our residents connect with homeowners that are looking for places to rent. So more on that in a second. Why have we seen this large increase in co-living companies coming to the forefront? Well, the way in which we live is changing. 1.5 million new people are moving to cities each and every week. The UN predicts 2 billion new people will be moving to cities within the next, or by 2030. And so this has led to historic decoupling of rent growth in comparison to income growth. And this is just making all of our cities unaffordable. No longer is it just San Francisco, New York, Toronto, and Vancouver, but even in San Diego, we're seeing rents have increased by 35% in the last 5 years. So you've seen this rise of co-living happening. I think a handful of our competitors are really focused on doing ground-up new developments. And we find that's incredibly slow, it's really capital intensive, and who wants to live in adult dorms? We've taken a radically different approach, which is helping leverage existing housing inventory today. So we'll find beautiful single-family homes, large properties. We'll furnish those out incredibly nicely, and then we take care of it, making everything really convenient. Wi-Fi, utilities, housekeeping, everything is set up from day one. And then I get really excited more on the roommate side. We help our residents find incredible individuals to live with. As an organization, we can do background checks, credit checks, reference checks. We can do qualitative interviews and roommate matching to ensure you're connected with people that you'd love to live with. And then we get really excited about taking that one step further. So not only do we help you find these great group of people to go and explore your city with, we then run member events on a monthly basis as well. So you have this broader group of a few hundred or a few thousand people to go and explore the new place that you live. Furthermore, we think renting should be easy. It should be fun. It should be a tech-forward solution. It should be as simple as Netflix. And so we've developed and are really proud to have just launched in the last month our new resident member app. So bill pay, maintenance, communication can all be done digitally at your fingertips. And then lastly, because we have this amazing network of properties and homes and people, we can leverage our resident app so that people can meet new people and really organize offline, whether that's a cooking class, going for a hike, going for a run, but really organically meet. I've been really excited. It feels like sort of just yesterday that it was my co-founder and I going around changing locks, doorknobs, showing the places ourselves. And in 2 years, we've quickly become the largest co-living company that there is within North America. And I think we're the first to cross the 1,000 resident threshold. We're the first to launch 10 markets. And I think it really just speaks to how big of a need there is for really rethinking affordable, successful, accessible, and communal living. So we're super excited. We're about to launch our first international market as well. And I think we're just scratching the surface. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Now, this next company is using blockchain technology to revitalize the world's raw materials industry. They give companies the power to secure the flow of information which accompanies raw materials as they move across the world, changing hands and changing form into finished goods. Please welcome Dore's co-founder and CEO, Schubert, everyone.
Hi, I'm Abba, co-founder and CEO of Dore, the Physical Commodities Cloud. It's great to be here today. We've got such a fantastic room of people. And I'm going to talk with you now about Dore and why we exist. It all starts with basics. This is one of my favorite versions of the periodic table. It's color-coded to show the stellar origin of each element. I'll talk about it some more tomorrow on the growth stage. But for now, the main reason I like this table is because it reminds me that at the end of the day, our only real limitations are, 1, our knowledge, and 2, the materials we have. It's the journey and potential of these elements that inspired Dore. And with these basic materials, we, human beings, we've made great stuff. Lots of it. And it's easy to forget that most of these things arise in one way or another from materials that have come out of the ground. Now, getting from stuff in a hole to great stuff is highly complex and very challenging. It's the culmination of global processes and generations of increasing know-how. Funny thing, though, a lot of the commercial activity that accompanies these great feats of engineering is surprisingly archaic. Think paper, lots of paper, phone calls, telex. What even is a telex? All this art is layered on top of that science. It's global, it's entrenched, but like many things, it's far from perfect. At Dore, we focus on the friction points in this great and constant journey of materials. We're a global business, and we have been from the very start because of the nature of our client base. We have to understand the waters they navigate. You remember that telex thing I mentioned? That's one from the Science Museum in London. And people still actually have to use these. The reason is because it's a reliable, accepted standard. And it's not the house system of some dominant market participant. But it's a bit ridiculous, right? It's in a museum. And it's one of the reasons why Dore exists. At Dore, we focus on automation, accountability, and interoperability. We bring our clients away from those archaic practices and right up to the present. Dore digitizes trade documents and other information. And that telex? That's about accountability. The natural next generation is distributed ledger technology. A well-crafted distributed ledger system like Dore's is a powerful tool for audit and compliance because we need data integrity. Finally, interoperability. It's a major issue for new distributed ledger technologies because novelty can bring complexity. It's a big priority for Dore and one we focus on every day. We think it's a trend also for the space as a whole, because isolated systems can't grow. All these elements, automation, accountability, interoperability, they combine to accelerate business for Dore's clients. And that's why we exist and why we're here today. Thank you, and I hope to see you on the growth stage tomorrow.
Thank you, Abba. So who likes traffic? No one, right? Our final company of this afternoon's session wants to make traffic jams a thing of the past, something we could probably all get behind. Optibus is an incredible platform for planning and running mass transportation, and their software is being used in more than 300 cities around the world so far. He's traveled here all the way from Israel, so please give him a big collision welcome to co-founder and CEO Amos Haggiag.
Hi everyone, great to be here. When you think about great cities, what do you think of? Lots of movement, people moving around, people going to work, people meeting each other, going to school. That's really what defines cities. Now, I'm Amos, I'm CEO and co-founder of Optibus. And at Optibus, we are really focused around ways, sustainable ways of moving people in large cities. Research shows that if you put people together, like if you look at population density, it leads into productivity. Putting in simple terms, you put people together and great things happen. Now, this is really what happens in cities, and in a way, it's good that all around the world there is a trend of millions of people moving into cities. So that's good for productivity, but it creates issues. Now, the main issue is that while cities are growing and lots of people are moving into cities, the land is fixed. So the main problem that we're looking at Optibus is how do you move all these people in the cities in a sustainable ways? There are many ways of moving people in the cities. They can use private cars, they can walk, they can take bicycles, they can use mass transit. We are really focused on the sustainable ways of moving millions of people, which is mass transportation. Now, mass transit or public transportation is a large market. It's $1 trillion market globally. And it's at the core of every city. Cities spend billions of dollars every year on their public transit system. But really, it doesn't really work so well. If you look at the US, only 5% of the population is using public transit, although it is a sustainable way going forward. And when we looked at cities all around the world and studied the way of how they're currently planning transportation, we see that it really didn't change for many years. And they're still using very manual method. This is, by the way, a picture we took from one of our clients. I have many of these type of pictures. Just papers hanging on the wall, people are moving them, and that's the way that they're planning the transportation in their cities. So meet Optibus. We are a 5-year-old startup company, about 100 employees. We raised $53 million of some of the best VCs in the world. And we created a technology that uniquely combined AI and optimization to optimize transportation in cities. We are in a mission of optimizing transportation in every major city in the world, and we are already working in some of the world's most complex transportation networks, including in London, Los Angeles, Singapore, and many others. So thank you, everyone. It was a very short talk. If you want to learn more, you can go to optibus.com, or you can listen to my presentation tomorrow at the growth stage. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Amos for that. Now, if you've liked what you've seen here so far, we do have more breakthrough startups for you to enjoy tomorrow morning and tomorrow lunchtime. And of course, Center Stage content resumes here in 5 minutes with Alex Chung, the founder of Giphy, so you don't want to miss that.